All right, the video is now recording. Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today's topic is all about the second week of 30-day camera challenges review, basically. And I'm doing something different today. You can't see what's behind you, but basically, I have no script. Even my OBS recorder is scroll down. And the reason why I did this is because I wanted to practice talking without any script, as if I'm talking to person to person. I watched a YouTube video saying that, oh, the script is good, but you should still be able to talk in front of the camera without a script. So I'm going to do my best today and to get that done. And I think it's a way to get me less mind blocked while I'm looking at in front of the lenses. And it's going to be a terrible editing time for me, but I think this will be a good practice nonetheless. Prior to this video, actually, I spent quite a lot of time YouTubing and searching on the web. Why do I get mind blanks when I'm talking in front of the camera? There are some good points made here and there, and one of them is practice, but the other one is that when I'm talking in front of the camera and I don't know what I'm talking about next, all these things that I could be talking about, it essentially gets clogged into my mind and it just poofs and it blanks out. Kind of like short circuiting because there's too much voltage running through. I thought about that and went, maybe that's true, maybe it's not. And the truth is, whenever I'm still looking at in front of the camera, like in a camera lens like this, I'm still very nervous. But one of the other recommendation that the video had is like pretend you're talking with your friend. I think it's pretty clear cut that I don't really talk like this in front of my friends. Just still feels a bit too formal to me. Maybe the whole point of this 30-day camera challenge is not to look at your script and just go, free script and just practice getting that nervousness out of your system. I think there's some merit in that, definitely. But since these past couple of weeks, I think I still made some pretty good progress if you think about it. Maybe it's something that you guys can check it out on my previous videos and you can let me know whether there has been a really good improvement or not. Essentially, through these 14 days worth of challenge, I've managed to learn a lot about video editing, learn a lot about how I script. I'm pretty close to getting rid of these ums and ahs, although I am using some really repetitive transition words. See, I'm still a bit nervous here, but I think that's pretty normal given that I've only made, less than 50 videos, you know what I mean? So let's just loop back to this 14-day journey. It's been a really positive one. On one hand, I feel the growth and I feel much comfortable editing on the new editing software, DaVinci Resolve, and I've been watching a lot of tutorials and YouTube videos on the side, so that's pretty much given, right? You'd expect that to go better. But in terms of like talking in front of the camera, I think there has been a really good improvement. Maybe it's just me being biased and a bit of copium thinking that, oh, I've put all this time in, I better get good. But I think in overall, I think it's been really good. I mentioned earlier that the first half of this challenge is all about me getting used to talking in front of the camera, and that will continue throughout. But I think the latter half of the challenge, I think I want to spend a bit more time on incorporating more editing techniques. Because I think a lot of the times when I have this thing in my head, like this kind of like creativity or this um, jokes that I want to deliver to on YouTube, a lot of the times it felt like my editing technique and my film technique isn't quite there to deliver the jokes or the content that I want in front of a camera. So definitely there's a bit of a knowledge gap there, and I want to bridge that gap as soon as possible. So the second part of this 30-day camera challenge, I intend to shorten the content to like 5 minutes only, but use the rest of the time to actually practice editing more. So much thing to learn about in DaVinci Resolve. It's just feature-packed software, even if it's free. There were some paid option features that I'd love to get my hands on, but I couldn't justify the $500 price tag, which is ridiculous, right? Not spending $500 right at the moment. I'll probably let the limitation push my creativity a bit. Sure, I can't use some of these features, which would be nice to use, but that doesn't mean there's a workaround. I'm pretty sure, even though if it feels half-assed, I think we can still deliver that all the way through. And I think in my previous videos, I also said that I want to eliminate my gear hoarding or over investing and over gearing into things that I don't really need for now. In my mind, I think I still need it, but chances are I probably don't need it. That's the thing about scripting, right? Because at the moment, I'm having a bit of a mind blank. Like, all I know is that in my mind, the topic is the second week review of the 30-day camera challenge. But all the things that I've already talked about has already been kind of glossed over already. If I want to talk to you guys for about 10 minutes and I run out at the first couple of minutes, like, what's the point? It feels like you need a script, right? And it's not like I can just think and think in front of my feet. No, that's not how it is. That's not the right word. Like, I'm getting heaps of mind blanks. I don't know what I should be talking about. Maybe the content is over. They say to talk as if you're talking in front of a friend. If I had a friend in front of me, what would I talk about? Maybe I'm just not fit for non-script YouTubing. Maybe it's better to have a script. Like, I hate being so blocked all the time every time I talk in front of the camera. Like, it's liberating to have no script at all. And I'll edit all the awkward parts, and I can edit all the blanks and all of that out. And I'm sure I can just do a retake if I really want to. I feel very blocked. Like, there's nothing to talk about. But that's not the case. If I'm really talking to friend or such, like, I usually have all the topics in the world. Like, I would never stop talking to that friend. You know what I mean? Just that when I'm just talking to myself in front of camera, there's just nothing to talk about. Like, unless I prepare the script prior, I'll never be able to have this well flowing storytelling. This is a good question to ask. Well, after this 30-day camera challenge, like, what are you going to do next? Well, probably I'll keep making the weekly videos, because as work starts piling up and I go back to work, I'm probably going to have to spend a lot of time at work and going to the gym and whatnot. So I only have a couple of hours max per week to work on this. But like I always do prior to this 30-day camera challenge, I'll probably write the script throughout the week, that little time that I have, and on Sunday I'll just shoot it and get it done and out of the way. But I'm hoping that, once I get to that 100 video mark, I should be able to be really good at talking to the camera as well as writing the script, and I should be able to deliver a very coherent and very engaging story. And once that's all out of the way, I would like to dip my toe in like different kind of genres. Like, I probably said it earlier in my previous videos, but I really want to get into like video game journalism or like video game YouTubing, where I just play a video game with my friends or play a video game online and capture and narrate some of the things like that. And also, I wouldn't mind going into like reviewing tech stuff, but I think the only thing that kind of limiting, and I could be very wrong, is that I don't have a macro focus lens. Like, I guess I could just pan in the camera a bit closer to the subject, but it seems like to me that if you want to do like really cool scenes and pans on a product, it seems like I don't have the equipment that I need to make that happen, but I could be really wrong. I can give it a hot crack and see what it looks like. I'm not too sure what product I'd review. Something to think about. Maybe I would like to review maybe this camera, and maybe all the accessories and the thing that I bought for the camera might be a really good video content. Maybe someone's interested in it. Not too sure. But I also want to try out some of the funny, like Stephen Hurl, or like, those really funny content videos, like Fairbound Production or Gans or something like that. But that would actually require me to set up camera outside the house and take footages and of different sceneries, and I have to make sure that my camera gear don't get stolen and all that kind of stuff. It seems a bit scary. And I also need to learn a lot about like cinematography and how that all works out and what kind of shots I need and what kind of like lighting, all that kind of stuff. There's just so much stuff that you need to know in order for you to truly express your creativity and yourself in front of a camera so everyone can see. You know, like me talking in front of a camera, this single shot isn't going to do anyone any favor. You know what I mean? So it's definitely something that I want to get into. It's just that the first step happens to be always the hardest. Ooh, getting really hot in here. It's like it's like 30 degrees. It's crazy. And I can't even turn the fan on because it's too bloody loud. I always ask myself whether I'm pushing too hard this holiday season. Obviously, I only have 2 weeks holiday, and I think this is near halfway of my first week of holiday. There's still quite a lot of days to go, but it just feels like every day I'm shooting video, I'm editing video, I'm learning about video editing, I'm learning about YouTube stuff. I mean, this is exactly what I wanted to get out of the holiday. This is a way for me to fast track this YouTube hobby of mine. There's no doubt. But am I missing anything? Am I neglecting my wife? Am I neglecting my family duties? I like to think I'm not. Like, I am spending some time with them. It's just that, do I have to spend more time? But then again, that would mean that I have to like drive somewhere. We don't even like nature. My wife is not a big fan of like going to like nature places or beaches and stuff. She likes to go in shopping malls. That's true Indonesian blood running into her veins. She doesn't really like nature at all. And then there's my parents where I don't really spend a lot of time with them as well. I do see them during like the big holiday times, like during Christmas and New Year's, but just want to do what I want to do, you know what I mean? And at the moment, like all that's happening in my mind at the moment is just this YouTube stuff. I'm like obsessed with it. I've been looking so many videos, so many how-tos and all that. And a lot of the times that's how my hobbies kind of start. Like it burns like a brightness of 1,000 sun and only to get burned so quickly and I'd never touch it again. But this time, I say this all the time, but this time it's different. This time I want to get this right. I want to be really good at doing YouTube and I'd hope that the skill set that I built from this journey, bleeds into my other stuff, whether um say for example if I like drawing and then I'm I'm learning photography and I know composition and light and all that kind of stuff. Maybe I can kind of incorporate that knowledge into my drawing. So when I'm doing like a final art piece, I know what kind of composition I need. I know what kind of light source, where the light source is, and how it reflects with the image, and so on. Maybe that will help. I'm not too sure. And this like video editing stuff, man, it takes a while to get used to. But I like the the fact that the video editing tool, when you open it up, is like a blank piece of canvas, and it is up to you to make that story, to tell that story how you want it. And I think video editing has a lot to say in that creative space. So I think it's definitely worth putting the time to get good at. And I've always liked looking into like technical stuff and get my teeth sink into. It's not something that everyone can just pick up, I think. I'm sure if you put your time in, I'm sure you get it right. But I think it's really hard to master, and I like kind of things that is hard to master because it tells you that you've been in the game for some time and you know what you're doing, and you're like a diamond in the rough, almost like. I'm not too sure how long this video has been so far. Let me have a quick look. It has been for, oh my god, 20 minutes. But in saying that, a lot of the time it was like blanks. You know what I mean? But I think I'll call it here. It's gonna take me forever to edit this. Obviously, it's 20 minutes long, and because I have no script, a lot of the sequence might be really jumbled. I don't know if I could just edit this in a chronological order. And I know I've done a lot of stuttering midway sentences, so it's definitely something that I need to look at. I said it a lot, don't I? It's definitely something I need to look at. It's funny. Anyway, and anyway, what do I say? See ya.